the first step in creating this beautiful smoky eye with the new mini silver Playdate palette is we are starting off our model with just a little bit of concealer on her eyes, and I'm going to go in with the shade Flirty first, and we're just going to press this shade all over the lid to help set the concealer and to give us a nice base for all the other eyeshadows to go over top of it. And I'm just using a nice fluffy brush, and I'm just kind of packing that on the lid all the way up to the crease, just basically all over the eye. Okay, so now that I have the shade Flirty all over the eyes, I'm going to go in with the shade Flashy with that same brush that we were using before, and I'm just going to start packing this onto the outer corners of her eye. Placing it in the outer corner is going to give a lot of dimension to the eye. It's going to smoke it out and create just this beautiful smoky eye look. So I'm just lightly pressing this shade again in the outer corner and then flicking it outwards. This will really help to elongate the eye and just push the eye upwards. And when I'm blending eyeshadow, I don't like to go in with too much at one time. I like to build and do layers on layers. That just helps to be able to blend it out easier, so you're not going in with a ton of product all at once and then it just looks patchy and not blended. And then a way that you can create a really easy smoky eye is taking this same color and placing it in the inner corner as well as the outer corner. I don't typically put dark colors like this in the inner corner, but it makes for a really, really pretty smoky eye. And you'll notice that I'm leaving this area, the very center of her lid, completely free of this dark color, because what we'll do after is add a nice shimmer to that center, and it's just going to make her eyes pop and stand out. Okay, so once I have the shade Flashy on both the outer corner and the inner corner, I'm going to pick up a little bit more on my brush, and I'm going to be connecting those two sides together in the crease. So I'm just being really precise and just going over that crease with this same shade, while still keeping the very center of it completely blank. Okay, so this is what the eye should look like once you're done with the shade Flashy. So we've got it on the outer corner, the inner corner, connecting it with the crease, and then you should leave the center completely free of color, and then of course all the shadow is flicked up like that. Okay, so the next step is going in with the shade Fierce. This color is a beautiful kind of deepish gray color, and it's going to be perfect for the smoky eye. We're going to use it to deepen up all the colors and to just make it even more smoky. Okay, so I'm using that same brush that I've been using during this whole eye look, and I'm just going to be placing the shade Fierce right at her lash line. I'm going to first start it there and then slowly blend it upwards. And I'm not going to be putting this shade in the inner corner of her eye. I'm just going to be focusing it into the outer corner. You want to be a little more careful when doing that inner corner. You don't want to put too dark of shades, or it can kind of look like a black eye at times. So I'm just going to be focusing this one on the outer corner. And I'm doing it in like a little V shape out in this outer corner. Okay, and then the fourth step is going in with the last shade, the shade Fine. This is the beautiful shimmer that's in the palette, and we're going to place this shimmer right on the center of the lid. So I'm first just taking my finger, and I'm going to be very gently pressing that on. I find that you can get most pigmentation out of shimmer colors when using your finger. And let's just be honest, it's so much easier that way too. And then once I have it all pressed on with my finger, then I go in with a brush just to make sure everything is precise. So having a little bit of shimmer right in that center of the eye, it's still going to allow you to create like a beautiful dark smoky eye without like making your eyes look heavy. So having a little bit of that shimmer and light in the center is going to help to open back up the eye. Okay, so now that we have all the eyeshadow colors on, we're going to move on to eyeliners to just further smoke it out. So I'm going to start with the Naomi's Glambam eyeliner. This is in the shade Black. And I'm just going to start by drawing this right on her lash line. And this eyeliner is so creamy, so easy to use. You really can't mess up when using this one. Okay, and then once I have a line drawn on, I flip over to the other side of the pencil and use this to kind of help smudge it. I love doing a smudgy liner when creating a smoky eye. And another reason why I love doing a smoky liner is you don't have to focus on like making it perfect. You just kind of have to draw a line and then you get to go in and just kind of blend out those edges. And then I'm going to be using this same Naomi's eyeliner to draw in the waterline. So let me look up. And I'm just being really gentle and just going right on that waterline. And doing this will just elevate your smoky eye look. So if you want to go even smokier, even more dramatic, I would do this step, and it's so easy to do it. It takes like 5 seconds. Okay, so once we have the eyeliner on the top and the bottom, then I like to switch over to the Asha's ink liner and kind of clean it up a bit. It's looking just a little messy right now, but that's okay. That's totally how it goes. We like to blend out and then we'll clean it up. So don't worry if you have a lot of fallout underneath the eyes. We're going to clean that up and make it look all pretty again. So going in with the ink liner, I just like to focus this right at the lash line. Ink liners are awesome because they are so black and they dry down, they don't budge, they're just like locked on your eye. So I like to do this right at the lash line to really build up that definition there so that when we put the lashes on, they have something to blend to. Okay, and then I'm going to be using this same ink liner and just drawing a little wing just to further smoke it out. And this pen is so easy to use, so don't be intimidated doing liner with this ink liner. It has a really fine tip, so it's actually really easy to do a wing liner, and then it dries down and it does not budge throughout the day. Okay, so now that we have all the eyeliner on, I'm going to go back to the mini silver Playdate palette and I'm going to pick up the shade Fierce to smoke out the eyeliner. So we'll start with the lower lash line and I'm just going to go right underneath and kind of on top of that eyeliner just to help blend it, and of course it's going to help smoke it out. And you can apply as much or as little of this underneath the eyes. If you're going for a really smoky look, then do a lot. But if you're a little intimidated with the dark colors, then I would just do a little bit. Okay, and then the most satisfying thing to just clean up the whole look, I have a little bit of makeup remover on this pad. I'm just going to be going right underneath it just to get off any of the fallout. When you're doing a dark smoky eye like this, you're just going to get some eyeshadow fallout. That's just how it goes. So I recommend doing eyes first so that you don't ruin your pretty face makeup. Okay, so now that we have the full face on, we went pretty glamorous on the skin to match with this dramatic eye. So now for the last finishing touches, I'm first going to apply the Lash pair in the style Miss. This is definitely one of my favorite pairs. So I've already trimmed them to fit her eye, and then I add a little bit of mascara, and then I have the red Aspen lash glue on these lashes. Okay, so that is the style Miss. As you can see, it complements our smoky eye perfectly. Just enough drama in these lashes. So let's move on to some highlighter. So for highlighter, I chose to go with the Pearl Crown Pressed Glow Powder. This is a really beautiful, bright highlighter shade, so I think it will complement this look perfectly and just add the glow to the body. So I'm first going to start by applying this highlighter to the collarbones. As you can see, it is so bright. It's beautiful, especially for a dramatic look like this. This highlighter fits perfectly. So I'm just adding some to the tops of her shoulders, her collarbones. Then I'm going to be adding some right to the tops of her cheekbones. And then I'm switching over to a smaller brush so that I can do a tiny little dot of this highlighter right at the tip of her nose. I'll also be taking it right down the bridge of her nose, kind of like in between her eyes right here. And then last place I'm going to put it is right in the inner corner of her eye. This is really important when doing such a dark smoky eye. A little bit of this really bright highlighter will help to make the eyes pop.